Hello, amiibros. This is Jason of Game.Shocks, and welcome to my Game Awards prediction video for 2022. It's been a while since I last did a prediction video on the Game Awards, publicly at least. The last one I ever did was in 2018, so it's been a long time coming, because I did do some prediction videos for last year and the year before, but I never ended up uploading them. But I'm not doing it this time. This time, I'm actually gonna upload it for real this time. This time. But yeah, so I'm gonna be predicting all the categories and saying my piece on each of them. I even got my phone right here for some notes in case I lose track of some kind. And this should be fun. The Game Awards are basically like a similar thing with how I treat the Oscars. Like, is it the most important and extravagant integral piece of the world that's gonna change everything? No, but I'm just here to have some fun and just root for my favorite games and people in the games industry. So let's do it. So now let's start. Well, for that, and I've tried uploading this video 2 or 3 times, and the last couple recordings didn't work out so well, but hopefully this one works. So first, we'll just start with the nominees. The thing froze for a minute, so if you see something, if my voice sounds a bit laggy, then that's kind of why. So I guess before we start with the nominees themselves, I want to go to Player's Voice really quick, because this one just ended. And I think, I can't see it though, but but for Player's Voice, last I checked, the win, before the percentage thing went out, I saw Sonic Frontiers was up front, but then I heard that Genshin Impact was in the lead, and I don't know what's up with that. So I guess we'll have to see when the Game Awards happen tomorrow, or I guess even today, because right now I'm recording this at midnight. So, because again, tried recording this a few times and it hasn't worked out. But enough rambling. Let's get on to the actual categories. Starting with Best Esports Event. You know, the best category. So what do we have in store? Best Esports Event. Recognizing an event across single or multiple days that delivered a best-of-class experience for participants and the broadcast audience. And I don't know any of these, except for Evo. So I'm going to go with Evo. Yeah, you can see voting closed. So just pretend what I pick for, that's what I would pick. So if you just hear me just go that's pretty much my sign of I'm voting for this. Now for esports coach, again, don't know any of these guys. So who has the best name? Doom Bros. Because Doom. Or even Score. Because the World Cup is going on, and there's been a lot of scoring happening there, so I don't know, and this guy's giving me the peace sign, so yeah, I'm really out of the loop, and I don't follow esports personally, so this is gonna be all just blind guessing. Best esports team, who has the best name? Dark Zero Esports. Again, look at them. They seem like they're in the game. And then best esports athlete. Who did I pick? I think last year I actually picked Simple, and I think he won last year. I might be wrong on that, but I'm going with Simple because he has a simple name with a 1, and I like that. One category that I wish would come back, because it wasn't presented last year, is what happened to esports host. Because I'm Game.Shocks, and the winner 3 times in a row for esports host was a woman named who had the nickname of Shocks. I mean, it's spelled SJOKZ, but it's translated to Shocks. So what happened to Shocks? What's up with that Game Awards? Not cool. Anyway, best esports game. Let's see. CS:GO, Dota 2, League of Legends, Rocket League, and Valorant. Can I close my eyes and pick one? You know what? I'm going to do that. Rocket League. Oh no, Valorant. Let's pick Valorant. I'm only picking that because it's the latest one on there. All right, now for the real categories. Most anticipated game. I'm not no disrespect to like the esports categories, but I can't really say anything if I don't know any of those guys. But most anticipated game. Now we got my notes, and now we can talk about the big boys. Let's see. Most anticipated game. Recognizing an announced game that demonstratively illustrated, an interesting use of words, potentially to push the gaming medium forward. Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Starfield, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now I think this one really comes down to two games. Zelda and Resident Evil. Now I think personally, in my heart, and for me personally, I'm more excited for Resident Evil 4 than I am for Zelda. But Zelda seems like it's going to be like a bigger and more ambitious game than maybe Resident Evil 4 is, because Zelda, is open world and such. Not saying Resident Evil 4 isn't ambitious, like it definitely looks like it, like because of how like faithfully they're going to still capture the original, it looks like. But I think even in my notes it says like for most anticipated game, it's just like will and should Zelda or Resident Evil. But if I'm gonna like say what will win and what should win, what I think will win is Zelda. But what do I what do I think should win is Resident Evil. That's just me though. I'm sure Starfield and Final Fantasy look good also, but it's just I think out of like all of those, I think like Zelda is gonna be like, because seeing a brand new Zelda game, like especially a mainline one, is always like gonna get people talking. Same with Resident Evil, but more so with Zelda. All right, next one, best adaptation. This is the new category for this year. Recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. Arcane, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, The Cuphead Show, Sonic 2 the movie, and Uncharted the movie. Well, I'll just tell you right now that Uncharted is not going to win. I did see it last week, and it was fine. Tom Holland felt really miscast in that movie. Not saying he was like bad in it. It's just I didn't see him as young Nathan. As old Nathan Drake. Excuse me. But yeah, that's not winning. Sonic 2, that's a great movie. This category is kind of weird. I mean, I like that it's here, but it's just like we're trying to like what's a better like representation of like a franchise, like a movie or a show. I don't know, because these two are not the same like type of experience. But let's see. And then Cuphead and Cyberpunk, I've seen like I saw the first episode of Cyberpunk and then a few episodes of Cuphead. Like they're both really good so far. Just need to watch the rest of them. And then Arcane I haven't seen, but I've heard amazing things about this show. Even though I'm not interested in League of Legends, I actually do want to watch the show. I don't know. I think out of these 5, I think the ones that have the most likely chance of winning is Arcane or Sonic 2. Sonic 2 would definitely win if it was just movies. And that would be my vote just because I haven't seen Arcane. If I had seen Arcane, that probably would be my pick. And maybe it'll win. Even though I haven't seen it, there's a good chance that it'll win. But debut indie game, let's now for the I don't even know what I'm doing. For the best debut game created by a new independent studio. So we got Neon White, Norco, never heard of it. Stray, Tunic, and Vampire Survivors, never heard of it either. Okay, by a debut indie game. So like, what would impress me more if it was like, if seeing that these games are like the first for a studio. I know this is not the last time we're going to be talking about Stray and Tunic. I know Stray is nominated for Game of the Year, but I feel like what would impress me more, like from what I've seen from gameplay, is Tunic. So my pick would be Tunic, and just seeing gameplay of Tunic, it's like what, like aw, I wanted to play it. Stray, I would be playing if it wasn't on my Christmas list. So I won't be able to play it. Neon White was the game I became aware of after seeing Donkey's Dunk View on the game, and I certainly want to play it. looks cool, but my pick is Tunic. Content creator of the year. For a streamer or content creator who has made a positive and an important and positive impact. God, not even that far in. I'm already messing up. Important and positive impact on the community in 2022. So of these 5, I only know 2 of them: Ludwig and QT Cinderella. And like the most high profile of all of these guys is for sure Ludwig, so I'm going with him. And because of like how huge his channel is right now, like with all the types of content that he does, it's like it's Ludwig. Like just that those 2 syllables just spell out like this guy is winning and he's gonna go places. Best multiplayer game. Okay, let me pull up my notes for this one because I don't remember exactly what I put. I don't know why that's there on my notes. For some reason it said man above best family game. I don't know what was up with that. Best multiplayer game. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. So we got Call of Duty Modern 2 Warfare, and yes, that's what I'm going to call it, and you're not convincing me otherwise. Multiverses, Waiting the Game, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. So I would say out of these, the one that's definitely not winning is Overwatch. So that's kind of funny because like the first one, Overwatch wins Game of the Year, and then the sequel is just like it's just here, and I don't think it's nominated anywhere else. But it's not my pick though, if that's what you're thinking. Like, I don't know which one would win. I guess what would I want to play with like my friends or like in multiplayer? I would probably say Ninja Turtles. In my notes it says will and should Ninja Turtles or Splatoon 3, or I wouldn't be surprised if Multiverses won. But I'm going to say Ninja Turtles. That's the one I want to play the most out of these. Although seeing if Splatoon 3 or Multiverses win, it wouldn't surprise me, but it might be bad picks. Best sports/racing game. Okay, this is really easy. This category is always easy. For the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game. So I'm just going to boil this down to like a few like phrases pretty much. Don't know. Trash. Wouldn't surprise me if people thought it was trash. Winner. Heard it's good. Could possibly win. But my pick is Gran Turismo 7. Even though the reason why I clicked Ollie Ollie World is because of the controversy that Gran Turismo 7 had like early in its like at launch and stuff with microtransactions. So there could be a chance that Ollie Ollie World could take it. But like I'll go with Gran Turismo 7 for now. Let me just click it more times just to prove that. Like I'm picking Gran Turismo 7. You got it now? I think so. But yeah, Ollie Ollie World, I've heard it's a good game. And the first 2 Ollie Ollie games are good as well. Best sim/strategy game. We got Dune Spice Wars, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Total War Warhammer 3, 2 Point Campus, and Victoria 3. The winner of this one is Mario plus Rabbids. Plain and simple. Kingdom Battle won in this category 5 years ago. And I think it's going to do the exact same thing here. And because it's a very good game and gets your brain flowing with where to put Peach over there, and then where to put Mario there, and this Rabbid there, and Luigi there, and then Bowser over there, and make him explode things. Yeah, it's Mario plus Rabbids. What's the next one? I think it's family. Yeah, it's best family game. Because again, I was recording this earlier and wasn't really working out. Best family game. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. So we got Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. I'm really happy that's there. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3. Now, just trying to picture like like put into perspective of like a kid playing with like their sibling or like their parents. What game would like get the whole family together? And I think that game would be Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Like Kirby's like supposed to be like a beginner friendly game, so and I could see like like parents who don't play games that much, or like a kid playing like co-op in that game with their parent or sibling, and I don't know, I could just see it. And this will be Nintendo's win for category in the night, because I think all of the big three are gonna win something. By a big three, I mean Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. And that'll be Nintendo's win. Best fighting game. So usually best fighting game typically has a like one game that stands out above the rest. But this year we don't really have that. So we got DNF Duel, which I've never heard of. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. I've heard of it, just never played it. King of Fighters 15. I think that's the biggest one on there. Or like if like a big fighting franchise is gonna win anything or win something, it'll be probably King of Fighters. Multiverses and Sifu. Yeah, I don't know which one's like towers above the others. There isn't really one. In my notes, I picked Sifu because of the fact that it's in Best Action Game, and I think it's also in Best Indie Game. I'll check again when we get to it. And Sifu, I don't know, because usually fighting games don't get nominated in other categories unless you're Smash Bros. And because Sifu, and I guess Multiverses in this case as well, are in multiple categories, they have more, I guess, a higher chance of winning. But my pick is Sifu to win because it's an action game and I believe an indie game as well. And because old man decking young boys in the face. Next category is Best RPG. So the Elden Ring category. For the best game designed with rich multiplayer character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. So we got Elden Ring, Live Alive, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Triangle Strategy, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Elden Ring. The joke already spoiled it earlier, but it's Elden Ring. Can you imagine if Elden Ring was an action-adventure game with God of War? And just think about how crazy that would have been, of like the predictions going on. It's like, oh my god, what's gonna win? But since they're separate, Elden Ring is gonna win here. And sorry, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I know you're up for Game of the Year, but this is not your category. If Elden Ring was not here, then you would definitely win. Alright, next is Best Action Adventure Game. Now, usually, in the past, I used to think that Best Action Adventure Game was okay, whoever wins this category is going to win Game of the Year. Because in the last 5 Game Awards, 4 of the 5 winners have been in this category for Game of the Year. Zelda Breath of the Wild, God of War, Sekiro, and The Last of Us 2 have all won Action Adventure Game and then went on to win Game of the Year. The only one that hasn't in the last 5 years is It Takes Two, which was in Family Game. So I don't think it's going to be the case this time, because this time we got A Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic. Did I read this? I don't know if I did. For the best action adventure game combining combat and with traversal and puzzle solving. I know it's definitely not going to be A Plague Tale or Stray. And Horizon, I love you, but you're not going to win. Tunic maybe has a chance because of it being like a Zelda-style game, but it's not going to win. This is going to be God of War Ragnarok's award. And since God of War is the most nominated game of the night, it's going to win the most awards for sure. But I'll just say it right now, I don't think it's going to win Game of the Year. It has a chance to, I'll just say that, but let me not get ahead of myself. Best action game. For the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat, Bayonetta 3, its only nomination somehow, Call of Duty Modern 2 Warfare, Neon White, Sifu, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Um, Now we got like stuff in other categories, and Bayonetta 3 is the only one here that is like I said, it's its only nomination, which is again shocking because I thought this would be up for Game of the Year for Nintendo's pick and not Xenoblade. But I'm actually gonna say Bayonetta 3 is gonna win, and if it doesn't win, then I think Neon White will win, because I feel like Sifu is gonna win for like fighting game and such, and Bayonetta 3 like it's like the closest to like lots of combos, lots of like juggling of enemies, and just like the biggest high octane like balls to the wall action. So Bayonetta 3. And also to rub it in Helena Taylor's face as well. Best VR/AR game. So like with best fighting game, usually there's like one that stands out above the others, but again, this year not really. But let's see. After the Fall, Among Us VR, Bone Lab, Moss Book 2, and Red Matter 2. I think with this one, like it's probably more apparent than with fighting game, because I think it's going to be between Among Us and Moss. Among Moss. I'm going to say Moss because the first game is cute and like uses VR really well, and I can see it with this one also. And I don't know, like, I mean, I'm sure Among Us is still popular now, but I'm not sure if like if people would still want to play it now in VR compared to something like Resident Evil 4 from last year, which won for a VR game, and like still that's like a years old game, and you know that VR version made Resident Evil 4 still feel fresh. But I think I'm still gonna stick with Moss 2, well Moss Book 2, just because of he's a cute little mouse, and because I feel like that one uses VR really well. Okay, next one. Innovation in accessibility. Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played by and enjoyed by an even wider audience. So we got As Dusk Falls, God of War Ragnarok, Return to Monkey Island, The Last of Us Part 1, and The Quarry. So I actually did take the time to look into like some of the games and their like accessibility features. Drinking some Pepsi right there. So what I looked up is with some of them, with The Last of Us 1, Part 1, is that they basically just took Last of Us 2's accessibility features and just put it into Last of Us 1. For what I know, at least. The Quarry, there's some QuickTime events that, There's options to like skip QuickTime events, extend timers for the QuickTime events. There's even like this there's a movie mode where you can turn the game into like a non-interactive movie and just like watch it all play out. This some things like in there for sure. But it's not as like in depth as like something like God of War, which I'll get into in a minute. Return to Monkey Island has like ways to like increase the size of the text, and so does The Quarry as well. And with Monkey Island, there's like an easy mode, so you don't have to deal with like moon logic puzzles as much, and there's like a previously on, so you don't lose track and stuff. There's some like neat little things like for Monkey Island, but the one that's winning is God of War because there's like 60 plus accessibility features in that game, and I have played God of War as well, and I even took the time to look through all of them. Like you could change the colors of Kratos and Atreus and like all the enemies around you. There's even a video like showing people testing out the accessibility features. Like one person who's missing an arm and it like has the DualSense. Like the cheek is resting on their chin is resting on the left analog stick, and they're playing with the L and R buttons with the face buttons out. Like there's ways to like highlight things, automatic jumping, skipping QuickTime events, and like there's so much. It's really in depth. So I'm going with God of War Ragnarok. I don't know the ones with As Dusk Falls, but I don't think it's winning. Oh, and that's going to be another one for God of War. Now for the next one. All right, here we go. Best community support, sponsored by Discord. It had to show up somewhere, and here it is. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and games updates / patches. Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. Excuse me. I honestly don't even know. So No Man's Sky, because it keeps picking up awards when we least expect it. By we, I mean the community, the gaming community. Oh jeez, I'm getting hiccups. Best mobile game, Diablo Immortal. No, I'm kidding. For the best game playable on a mobile device. Again, don't know, so I'll just say Genshin Impact. Because if Diablo Immortal wins, the memes and the backlash that will happen is gonna be so funny, and you'll be like what? Like, what did you just do, Game Awards? But anyway, best indie game for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. So here we are back with Stray and Tunic. So we got Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and Tunic. And I think I actually have heard of all these games, believe it or not. Well, I wouldn't say believe it or not. I think out of all the times I've looked in the indie games, nominations, this year is actually the one where I actually recognize all of them. To my not sort of to my surprise, but I'm like, hey, I actually know all these games. Cult of the Lamb, I'll probably just buy it tonight, before I go to bed, and just maybe play it in the morning before I stream the Game Awards, because by the way, I am going to be streaming the Game Awards, streaming the whole show, so be on the lookout for that. So yeah, I want to play Cult of the Lamb. I want to play all these, really. But for standard indie game, Stray is going to win. But again, Tunic, Stray and Tunic are in the same categories for indie games. But I think for debut indie game, I think Tunic is going to win. But for overall indie game of the year, I think Stray is going to win. Because again, it's up for game of the year, and if you're an indie game and you're up for game of the year, then you win best indie game. Best ongoing game. Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. So we got Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, that game, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. I don't know, so I'm just going to say Final Fantasy 14. Because 16's coming, and then they'll be able to move the I and V around next time they put it here. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Games for Impact. For some reason, this category has 6 nominees, and I don't know why. They should add 6 nominees for every category, really. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. So we got A Memoir, Blue, As Dusk Falls, Citizen Sleeper, Endling, Extinction is Forever, Hindsight, and I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. I don't know. Honestly, I've never even heard of any of these games except for Endling, and then As Dusk Falls we just talked about earlier. But I don't know anything about it. About it though. Voice crack. Again, like I said, the only one I'm aware of is Endling, and I guess that would be my pick because it's the only one I've heard of. But I think because As Dusk Falls is in another category, I'm gonna go with that one. But still, I wouldn't be surprised if either one wins. Next one, best performance. Okay, we got another easy category. Awarded to an individual for voiceover acting, motion, and or performance capture. So we got Ashley Birch for Horizon Forbidden West, and Charlotte McBurney in A Plague Tale Requiem, Christopher Judge in God of War Ragnarok, and Sonny Suljic for God of War Ragnarok, and Manon Gage for Immortality. This is Christopher Judge's award, and that's that. Like I mean, like he didn't win in 2018, but now it is his time to shine, and he's gonna win. And for Ashley Birch, I think is awesome. I hope she does win eventually. It was kind of like with Laura Bailey, where she was like, all right, she's been nominated a bunch of times. When's she gonna win? And then Laura Bailey finally won. And I was like, wait, what? Okay, I guess she won. So I hope the same, like, I hope Ashley Birch does win, and she doesn't become like Leonardo DiCaprio, where like she gets nominated a bunch of times and like never wins. But maybe one day. But again, this is Christopher Judge's award, and because he is the entire game. Boy and dad award, carry it. Anyways, best audio design. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. It's Call of Duty Modern 2 Warfare, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Forbidden West. Now let me actually check my notes for this one, because I'm trying to remember this one. Okay, here we go. I found it. I'm actually going to... I don't know if this is going to be a curveball or not. I'm actually going to say Horizon Forbidden West. Because of the... like, when you, like, smack a machine with, like, one of the moves where, like, you're, like, slapping the machines with the spears. Especially the one where you're, like, doing this flip and you, like, charge up and, like, hit the machine with the spear. Like, it sounds so crunchy and so good. For me, if, like, I kind of want every Game of the Year nominee to win something at the Game Awards. Because, like, there's always one game or two that don't win anything. And if Horizon Forbidden West is going to win anything, I think it's going to be either this one or Best Art Direction, which we'll get to in a minute. But if God of War wins, we wouldn't be opposed to that, even though I kind of want Horizon to win. Because God of War also has some good sound design. And I'm sure all these other games do also. Like Elden Ring as well. Alright, best score and music. For outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. So we got A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Metal Hellsinger, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm actually going to say it's going to be Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Because like I said, if like... with like every Game of the Year nominee should win at least one game award, like spread the wealth, like because Xenoblade 3 is not winning best RPG and it's definitely not winning Game of the Year. So, and this is the only other category it's nominated in. So, I'm gonna see Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is gonna win. And plus, I've actually heard the music is really good in Xenoblade 3. And if it doesn't win, then maybe God of War Ragnarok would win because Bear McCreary, you know, those epic, like thunderous, the score in God of War is like, you know, it's big and epic and like thunderous and it's just like boom, boom, boom. I hope you understand what I'm trying to do. It's like it's big and epic, but still my pick is Xenoblade 3 because I wanted it to win something. Best art direction. For outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Scorn, and Stray. Now I believe for this one, in my notes I said the winner is going to be Stray or Horizon Forbidden West. And I think there's a good chance that Horizon could win here because that game is stunning visually and I've taken like tons of pictures within the game. But there's the lighting in Stray. I've seen like one of the things that I heard was like one of the standout things in Stray was its art style and its lighting. Like I saw the picture on Wikipedia had like some of the lights, like some of the blue lights. It looked really nice. So I think it's gonna be either Stray or Horizon Forbidden West, or maybe even God of War. Because art direction, sometimes it's confusing. Because one award they could go for like what is the most colorful looking game, or like what is the most stylish looking game, or what game had the best graphics. It's always one of those three. But I don't know. I'm gonna say Horizon Forbidden West because again, kind of want to win something. and because again it looks pretty. But again, if Stray or God of War or Elden Ring wins, I would be opposed to it. I haven't looked at any of the screenshots of Scorn, so I don't exactly know for that one. Best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. So A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Immortality. This is God of War's award. But like I said, if like for like but what award is A Plague Tale Requiem gonna win? Is it gonna win anything? Well, I think with this category, A Plague Tale Requiem has the like strongest chance of like getting in the game award here, and probably its only shot, which is kind of unfortunate from what I've heard about that game. But God of War, because of those again those big stakes and how epic the story is, well, and like the scale of it. So God of War. All right, last two categories: best game direction. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. So we got Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok. I'm sure you're seeing a pattern with some of these games. Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality. I don't know what this Immortality game is. I might have to look that up later. And Stray. So this category sometimes confuses me. Like with the way like it says up here, it's like what does that mean with like creative vision and innovation in game direction and design? Like if I'm talking about like what game is like innovative, then Elden Ring, but then like creative vision, then I guess maybe like God of War. But I don't know, because usually for me like I sort of go with like whatever wins game direction has like a good chance of winning game of the year. Sometimes it doesn't happen, like last year when Deathloop won best game direction and It Takes Two won game of the year. And I don't think it's going to be that this year. I think game of the year and game direction are going to be the same, like one and the same. So if I'm going by that logic, then I'm going with Elden Ring, because again, it is like Zelda Breath of the Wild. That you're just like you just do a few things in like this tutorial tomb area, and then once you're done, you just the whole world, it's all yours, and then you can just explore and do whatever you want. You can go try to beat that hard ass boss, and then you die, and then all right, just go the other way. It's all up to you. So Elden Ring. And last category, game of the year for 2022. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. And your Game of the Year nominees for 2022 are A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So I'll just say right now that I'm really surprised that Stray and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 got in here. Like, this is a really weird, like, 6. Like, these three are definitely, like, the ones that like, we're for sure gonna get in. But it's like, the other three, I'm like, huh. Like, because for indie games, I would have thought Tunic was gonna get in. And then for, like, Nintendo games, I thought Bayonetta 3 was gonna get in. So that's kind of odd, but it is what it is. But I know for sure Stray and Xenoblade 3 are not gonna win. Horizon, again, I love you. You're one of the best games of this year, but you're not the best game of the year. A Plague Tale Requiem, heard it's great, but it's not going to win. It really just boils down to these two right here, Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok. And there's a good chance for, again, either one to win. God of War, it just came out like a few weeks ago, so it's like it's like recent, so like it's fresh in everyone's minds, and it's like, wow, like this is happening now. But then with Elden Ring, that came out in February. It's had more time to simmer, and like throughout the year, it was like Elden Ring is like one of the best games of all time. I mean, I'm sure people are saying that with God of War as well, but I think because Elden Ring has been like stayed with people more, my game of the year of 2022 is Elden Ring. And I think out of all the times I have predicted game of the year from 2017 till now, Elden Ring is the easiest game of the year like prediction out of any year ever. Like it's so clear this year. Although the Game Awards could just slap me over the face and say, "Hey, it's actually God of War." And again, not a bad thing that God of War gets in for Game of the Year again. Like, because it's like you either give it to From Software again, or you give it to God of War for a second time, or like essentially Sony for a third time. But Game of the Year is Elden Ring. No, really question about it. So, and with that is all of my picks for the Game Awards. I hope you all enjoyed this. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments, and with that is it. So thank you all for watching the video, and please comment, like, and subscribe. And next video is going to be my Game Awards stream, where we are going to just have fun and talk about stuff. Because this is going to be very exciting, seeing Elden Ring win like a bunch of categories. Because with let's be honest, 2022 is really going to be known as Elden Ring the year, and maybe God of War. And feel free to follow me on social media. Links will be in the description. And see you when maybe the Game Awards will surprise me and announce that a new flavor of Doritos is going to be announced. You never know. So shock the world and us, amiibros. Goodbye.